Most men are controlled by their emotions, and they don't even realize how much power they're giving away. They react the moment they feel anger, sadness, or disrespect. They say things they later regret. They make decisions based on how they feel in the moment. And in doing so, they hand their power over to other people and situations. The common advice today is either just feel your emotions or become cold and emotionless. Both are wrong. The real strength isn't in suppressing your emotions or being ruled by them. True strength is learning how to feel without being controlled. In this video, I'm going to break down 7 deep principles that will help you stop being controlled by your emotions, without turning into someone cold and disconnected. Let's get into it. Introduction: emotions are powerful. They can push you toward greatness or completely destroy your peace. The difference usually comes down to one thing: whether you're in control of them or they're in control of you. When a man is controlled by his emotions, he becomes unpredictable. He says things he doesn't mean. He makes decisions he later regrets. He chases validation. He reacts to disrespect instead of responding with strategy. And over time, this weakens him in his relationships, his career, and his self-respect. On the other hand, a man who has emotional discipline doesn't suppress his feelings. He simply doesn't let them run his life. He can feel anger without becoming aggressive. He can feel hurt without becoming needy. He can feel desire without becoming desperate. This is the kind of man who becomes difficult to manipulate and impossible to control. These 7 principles will help you build that level of emotional strength. Principle number 1: pause before you react. The moment between feeling something and reacting to it is where your power lives. Most men completely miss this window. The second they feel triggered, whether it's anger, jealousy, insecurity, or disrespect, they react immediately. They send the text. They raise their voice. They make a decision based on emotion. And almost every time, they end up regretting it. What most men get wrong: they believe that reacting quickly shows strength or honesty. In reality, quick emotional reactions usually come from a lack of control, not strength. How to fix it? Train yourself to create space between the feeling and your response. Even a few seconds can be enough to change the outcome. Example: you're texting a woman you're interested in, and she suddenly becomes cold or says something disrespectful. Your first instinct is to reply immediately and defend yourself or ask what's wrong. Instead, you put the phone down for 10 minutes. That short pause stops you from reacting emotionally and gives you time to respond from a stronger position, or not respond at all. Principle number 2: separate feeling from action. One of the most important skills you can develop is the ability to feel something without needing to act on it. Most men operate on autopilot. If they feel angry, they express it. If they feel hurt, they talk about it. If they feel insecure, they seek reassurance. They never stop to ask, do I actually need to do something with this feeling right now? What most men get wrong: they believe that strong emotions must be released or acted upon immediately. This belief keeps them emotionally reactive for life. How to fix it? Practice feeling the emotion fully while choosing not to act on it. This builds emotional strength over time. Example: you see a woman you're interested in posting with another man. You feel a strong wave of jealousy and insecurity. Instead of texting her or reacting in some way, you sit with the feeling. You acknowledge it, but you don't let it control your behavior. Over time, you become less reactive to these situations because you've practiced separating the feeling from the action. Principle number 3: observe your emotions like an outsider. Most men are so identified with their emotions that they become them. When they feel angry, they say, I am angry. When they feel insecure, they say, I am insecure. This identification makes it much harder to control their behavior. A more powerful approach is to observe your emotions instead of becoming them. What most men get wrong: they treat their emotions as facts about who they are, rather than temporary states they're experiencing. How to fix it? Practice watching your emotions as if you were observing someone else. This creates psychological distance and gives you more control. Example: you're in a conversation that's starting to frustrate you. Instead of immediately getting worked up, you mentally step back and think, I'm starting to feel irritated. My jaw is tightening and I want to interrupt. By observing the emotion instead of becoming it, you stay calmer and more strategic in how you respond. Principle number 4. Stop explaining how you feel. One of the biggest leaks of emotional power is the constant need to explain how you feel to other people. When you feel the need to justify why you're upset, why you're distant, or why you're setting a boundary, you give others too much access to your inner world. This makes you easier to manipulate and less respected. What most men get wrong. They believe they owe everyone an explanation for their emotions or boundaries. How to fix it. Learn to state your position without over-explaining. You don't need to make everyone understand how you feel. Example. A woman you've been seeing starts becoming inconsistent and disrespectful. Instead of sending long messages explaining how her behavior makes you feel, you simply say, "I'm not available for this anymore." You don't explain, argue, or try to make her understand. You state your boundary and move on. Principle number 5. Protect your energy ruthlessly. Your emotional energy is one of your most valuable resources, yet most men give it away freely to people who don't deserve it. Some people will constantly pull you into drama, arguments, or emotional labor. If you're not careful, you'll spend years reacting to other people's chaos instead of building your own life. What most men get wrong. They feel guilty for reducing contact with draining people. They believe they have to be available for everyone. How to fix it. Be intentional about who gets access to your energy. You don't have to be cold. You simply become more selective. Example. You have a friend who only reaches out when he's going through problems or needs something. Every conversation leaves you drained. Instead of continuing to invest emotionally out of obligation, you start responding less and protecting your time. You don't announce it or make it dramatic. You just become less available. Principle number 6. Use silence as power. Silence is one of the most underrated forms of emotional control. When you don't react, don't explain, and don't fill the silence, you create psychological pressure. Most people can't handle it. They start talking more, revealing more, and sometimes even backtracking. What most men get wrong. They feel uncomfortable with silence and rush to speak or react in order to ease the tension. How to fix it. Get comfortable with silence. Learn to use it strategically instead of fearing it. Example. Someone tries to provoke you with an insult or disrespectful comment. Instead of firing back or explaining why their words don't affect you, you stay silent and hold eye contact. Your silence becomes more powerful than any response you could have given. Principle number 7. Build emotional discipline daily. Emotional control is a skill that must be built over time. You can't expect to have strong emotional discipline if you only practice it when you're triggered. What most men get wrong. They only try to control their emotions in the moment instead of building the habit daily. How to fix it. Develop daily practices that strengthen your emotional resilience. Example. You commit to training in the gym even when you don't feel like it. You also begin journaling for 10 minutes every night about how you handled emotional situations during the day. Over time, these habits make you mentally stronger. When someone disrespects you or tries to trigger you, you're much less likely to react emotionally because you've been training your discipline consistently. Final thoughts. Becoming emotionally disciplined doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you stop being ruled by what you feel. You can still care deeply. You can still feel anger, sadness, joy, and desire. But you no longer let those feelings make decisions for you. This is what real masculine strength looks like in today's world. Not cold, not numb, just in control. If you're serious about becoming a better man, developing emotional discipline is one of the highest leverage skills you can build. If this video gave you clarity, drop a comment and let me know which principle you're going to focus on first. Subscribe if you're on the path of intentional growth and self-mastery. Stay grounded.